Hi guys, welcome to session one, your official first session of EDUC 2110. So I want to go ahead and walk you through the module and see what it looks like. That way you have some idea as what other modules are going to look like in addition to what you need to complete, following the course plan, etc. So let's go ahead and get started. So here, of course, is the course welcome video that you're watching right now. So there's always going to be a video kind of walking you through the entire module just so you don't forget anything or miss anything. It's always good to do. Here's the course plan, so let's click on that, and here we are with our course plan. So we are here, and maybe you're starting this earlier, but this official module opens up on Monday on January 15th, closes January 28th. So you have 2 full weeks to complete this session, and a few things in here. One being you have a response post, the U.S. versus the world, which is 15 points to respond to that prompt, which means you're going to read all the material, watch the videos, and then respond in a discussion board with what you think. Then you have a peer response as well. So making sure that you read at least, I mean, I'd like you to read all of them, but read through other peers and respond to at least one other person with what you feel as similar, different, great points, whatever, to make a connection with them. In addition, you have to declare your field experience. And so I'm going to talk about what that looks like in addition to showing you what the field experience module looks like as well. So within this class and all your other EDUC classes, you have to complete 10 hours of field experience. They cannot overlap. They have to be different. And so we're going to look at what those look like. So let's go ahead and go back and see. So our module objectives are here. We're going to be looking specifically at similarities and differences between U.S. and Finnish schools. I'm going to have you watch a 4-part series called The Finland Phenomenon, which is a really great insight and look into Finnish schools, which are some of the top schools in the world, and look and see where the U.S. compares in that with education. But you're also going to look at other nations and other countries, specifically the PISA evaluation test that aligns our students with everybody else in the world and see where we rank, which is kind of interesting. So anyway, that is what we're going to be looking at. So click on this, and it takes you to a checklist. And so it shows you, again, step by step what you have to do so you don't miss anything. So this is all of your checklist. Also here at the bottom is something called enrichment, and this is something you don't necessarily have to do, but it's something that aligns with what we're talking about. And if you want to continue reading and studying, that's just an extra article, video thing that you can read or watch. So anyway, good article there about how British schools are adopting Chinese textbooks. So anyway, have a look at that if you're interested. So here we are. Here are the actual activities. So if you scroll down here, you need to visit the Field Experience Orientation page, and it looks like this. Takes you to the actual page and it walks you through everything that you need for that. And there's actually a welcome video of field experience right here. So I don't have to recite myself. You can go ahead and watch the video, revisit it when you need to. And it takes you through the entire instructions, template, requirements. So go ahead and read all of this. Make sure you understand it, where you can actually be for field experience. Let me just reiterate this one right here of you're not allowed to be in K-12 at all during school hours. Before school and after school is a different story, but during the normal hours of 8 to 3, you're not permitted to be in those schools for a couple different reasons. One, you don't have a background check, and anybody that works with schools is required to have a background check and also go through our field experience office here at the university. And since you're not doing either of those pre-major, you're not allowed to be in the schools. So just want to point that out because that question comes up a lot. Anyway, there's a few things to read here. Again, let me know if you have questions. This is a quick endorsement letter. If you need to, ask for some proof of why you need these hours, where you need these hours, you can send this to your administrator, to your supervisor, whoever is overseeing your hours. And here's your paper template. So actually starting to type and walk through what that looks like. And that's pretty much, oh, and then I'm sorry, field experience log as well. And this is here too for you to actually write down where you did your hours and whatnot. So that is the field experience. Let's go back to our session 1. That is the field experience module. So take your time and watch the video, walk through the materials. However, once you figure out where you want to be for field experience, you need to click on this link and declare where you want to be. And so this is just kind of an approval for me and to get an idea of where everybody is going to be. So fill this form out, writing, of course, your name. It's a Google Doc. and if any other information here. Just making sure you put the site placement name, the address, phone number of the supervisor. If I need to contact them at the end of the semester, excuse me, I can, and their title and or email address if they have one, which would be great. But there's also a site placement too, so if you need to do that in addition, you're welcome to do that as well, because you don't have to be at just one site. If you prefer to do 2 different sites or more, you can do that as well, which is fine. So that's the Google Doc, that Google form I'm asking you to fill out. And then we actually move into finally our session 1 issue. So then it talks about response posts, what that needs to look like, and then responding to your peers' responses as well. So click on the over button, and then here's the actual issue as well. So this is what you're going to have to read and click on the links and go through the material. But learn about what the PISA test actually is, how it's administered, and then where the U.S. ranks per the rest of the world in reading, science, math, all these other areas. So click on any of these links, and again, it takes you to various things to read, watch, listen to, and give you some insight as to where I would like you to go and give you a background foundation of understanding of where U.S. schools are right now. Down here at the bottom is the Finnish phenomenon that I'd like for you to watch. Now, if you watch this documentary, which is an hour, you get an hour of field experience time. So it's an hour for an hour, essentially. So if you want to watch it, which I highly encourage you, because it's part of your response post, you only have to do 9 hours. But in fact, I'm also embedding another hour in field experience in another module. So then you will only be down to 8 hours. So it's not as much, but I think this is really invaluable, and that's why I'd like for you to complete it. So watch those videos there. They're really inspiring and captivating of what U.S. schools could be like potentially. Down here in green is your prompt. So once you've read everything, all the materials, gathered your thoughts, your perceptions, go ahead and answer the questions in the discussion board. So do you think American schools are failing? If so, in what ways? If not, explain why. And what, if anything, can we learn from the Finnish example from up here, the Finland phenomenon? Give 3 specific examples we saw from the film, not just, one sentence, but go into detail with that. Make sure you write at least 300 words, okay, per response. I do have a rubric that I evaluate all the response posts with. It's not just that you wrote something, but that it's written, appropriately, grammatically. It really aligns with what I'm looking for in the question. So make sure that you, again, are visiting that rubric prior to writing it, or just to make sure that you align with it appropriately. In your telling response post, you may have called it session 1 response post, but you can also call it something new, like U.S. schools are failing, or we need to be more like blank, or something like that. Kind of captivating people's attention with your title, as opposed to just response post 1, but that's fine too. Anyway, after you have completed that discussion board, go ahead and if you want to watch, or read the enrichment article, you're welcome to do that. Kind of fascinating. But that's really it for session 1. So declaration of field experience, in addition to, of course, watching the field experience module, and then answering the questions that I just outlined previously. So if you have questions, let me know. Everything is due January 28th, just to remind myself as well. Everything closes, so remember, make sure you get all that done by then. If you have questions, let me know. I'm here to help, and hope you guys have a great session. Thanks so much. Bye.